welcome back. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm excited, you all. We were just setting up, and as you all can see, I am all natural. I don't even have my background on this one. I wanted to be very clear. Did a little quick reboot. We have Ami with us. I am so excited. This is just a real treat, you all. And we all love his great content here in the Lady Luck Club. I know I do, probably more than you all. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys, as you come in, hit the like button. And make sure you go and support Ami on his YouTube channel. Follow him on X and all his social medias. We're going to bring him up. And I just want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Shout out to all the mods, to all the Luxor supporters and members. You guys, we're in for a real treat. We will not hold you all long. We're going to get it in at an hour and let Ami go and do what he needs to do. But this is a real treat, and I am just honored. So without further ado, bring up the man of the hour, Ami Kozak. How you doing?
Lady Luck. She's a lucky lady and a very lucky woman. We love that. We love that. So great. How we doing? How we doing, everybody?
What's going on?
It's amazing. Great to be in the Lady Luck Club. Almost as good as Epstein's Island. Almost as good. What up, fam?
Oh man. Laughter is good for the soul. You certainly make us laugh.
Amen. Amen.
We've enjoyed it. So we heard the Trump persona. Listen, introduce yourself to the Lady Luck Club. For those who may not know who you are, we do have a diverse platform here in the LLC. So introduce yourself and tell us your deepest, darkest secrets. Whatever it is you want us to know.
So I've been to Epstein's Island 3 times. No, my name is... My name is Ami Kozak. I'm a comedian, impressionist, musician, commentator, podcaster, a polymath of sorts, do a whole bunch of things. And a lot of funny bits and shtick out there online. I like to talk, like to joke around, and I like to poke fun at lots of people, some people who I love and some people who I don't like. And, it's all effective nonetheless to expose people for their virtue or for their vices. And I like to have fun with all of it. So that's what I do. And that's the world that I like to play in.
Awesome. Can you tell us what's your favorite character or persona that you like to portray?
Yeah, it's such a hard question. I mean, I always leave it to the fans to decide, depending on who is tickling my fancy. Sometimes it's your favorite president. Sometimes it's your favorite commentator. I don't know. Maybe it's Tucker if he's being ridiculous. I don't know if I know him. Who is Tucker Carlson? And sometimes no, but I don't know you guys. They think we're stupid.
Oh man, my personal favorite is the Candace one.
Yes, of
course. It's like she's so stoic.
Andrew Candace Clay, that's what we call her.
Oh man, we call her Candace because all her candy ass cult members keep misspelling her name. They actually spell her name Candice, Candice. I've gotten a Condance, a Karen, Condoleezza, Cadence, Condance. Oh my God, they butcher her name. These are her cult members.
Well, incorrect pronunciations of her name would be fitting, given that she hasn't pronounced a single English word correctly in 30 years.
Or know the freezer poured of water.
Yeah. Something doesn't add up. Yeah.
I know, right? So get us started on this. How did you get into, how long have you known Candace? I have seen a video of you two, having a collab interview. So, what kind of got you started on, specifically on her and what led to you,
Yeah. Did we lose me?
I hear you. We don't see you.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay. That was her team sabotaging the live stream.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Get out of here, candy asses.
Get your candy ass out the live stream, Candace. We have an interesting origin story. Candace once upon a time presented as sane and was on the Daily Wire platform, and I think she took a liking to my earlier videos when I used to make fun of Prince Harry. I did a bunch of Prince Harry impressions of the.
What?
Yes,
No.
he was married to Meghan, and he would talk about unconscious bias. We're here at the Lady Luck Club. Well, my wife Meghan's a lady, and they were very disgusting to her because they asked what color the baby would be, and that was very hurtful. And Candace took a liking to those videos, and she had messaged me a while back saying, I want to review this on my show, and featured some of the videos and said that, she really enjoyed the impressions. Careful what you wish for. But basically, that was the original thing. So I think she was just a fan, normal fan, which was very nice. But then I started to see her go down the very deep, dark path of, exploring some really nasty ideas, bad ideas. It started with the whole Kanye stuff when she was defending Kanye. And I was like, I was starting to see this pattern of her of just being this tribal actor, really trying to, cosplay a conservative firebrand without really understanding what the fundamental principles of conservatism were. She was sort of playing a role because, hey, it gives you a huge positive feedback loop and a massive brand and a big audience. But I was like, hey, listen, I think you're kind of going out there, presenting as this conservative, and then you're losing all these arguments or making a fool of yourself in certain cases. And I don't like that because as someone who's fairly conservative and have certain political, opinions and stuff, it's one thing when people go out there and they're like the opposite opinion of you and they make a fool of themselves. Who cares? But if someone goes out there purporting to represent your point of view and screws it up, you're just like, oh, this isn't good. But that aside, what happened was, so it started with the Kanye stuff, but I sort of kept an eye on it. And then after October 7th, she started to, go down that path and retweeted a tweet from the Queen of Jordan accusing Jews of acting like BLM in the way that they were utilizing anti-Semitism to silence people into compliance. And I know she was very into the whole Blexit movement and anti-BLM and was seeing it through that lens. And I was like, you're retweeting the Queen of Jordan, who's talking about this after Jews in Israel and Israelis were just slaughtered on October 7th. We're not manufacturing what we're seeing. We're seeing people on campus celebrating such events and ripping down posters of hostages. So we're not manufacturing that. And, when I tweeted her pretty firmly that, to her credit, she invited me on her show and we had a civil discussion / debate. That was the first instance in which we crossed paths. And it was actually very civil. And to her credit, she put the whole thing up on her channel and unedited. And I thought it was a good demonstration. And rather than naming and shaming and calling out and doing all that sort of grandstanding, engage in the conversation. And we did. But then a year passed and it's not like she started to get more sane and reasonable on the issues of the Jews or out of Israel. It just only got more and more unhinged and depraved and crazy. And I went on her show again and as a follow-up, and I ended up having a debate with Dave Smith, which again was a civil, nice debate and conversation. I thought it was constructive. And then her and I had in the same session, we had a separate conversation about I was like, look, you can tell me all day that you don't harbor Jew hatred in your heart or anti-Semitism. I'm not claiming I know what's in your heart, but I'm judging your actions and your conduct, So that's what I care about. That's what I'm judging. I'm not trying to tell you who you are on the inside. I'm judging what you're doing on the outside.
Absolutely.
And that sort of got a little more contentious. I started calling out some of the early manipulative tactics I was seeing, like when she was like, so Kanye said he's going DEFCON 3 on some Jewish people. So he's saying DEFCON 3 on some Jewish people. I'm like, he didn't say some. You keep inserting some into it. Is a way to sort of, and all these kind of moves I was starting to see that were really kind of manipulative and disingenuous. But in any event, still ended rather civilly. But after that episode aired, and I thought we reached a better understanding, she then started talking about how Nazi experiments in Germany seemed bizarre and Mengele, the doctor who experimented on Jews during the Holocaust. I don't know why you would do that. That seems like just a waste of time and supplies. Why would you do that? Why would you even do that? It's just, I don't know. And so after that, I'm like, I just. I did my part. I gave the benefit of the doubt, and you're just going further and further down these. You're doing the people calling you an anti-Semite a big favor by doing this and giving into the caricature and kind of utilizing it and weaponizing it. And things just got worse and worse. Fast forward, forget all the Jew stuff, forget the Israel stuff. Look what happened post Charlie Kirk and what she's been doing with Erica and his legacy and his family and his loved ones and his inner circle of friends. I mean, I say keep going. It only demonstrates further what people have been trying to point out and demonstrate all along, that you're not really here in good faith. You're here for self-aggrandizement. And so that's been our path. And unfortunately, eventually, you try to give people the benefit of the doubt and give grace, but the people are the product of their own behavior and their conduct. So they have to live with that.
Yep.
So, I don't know if she's time traveling, astral projecting, or having wet dreams with Charlie Kirk, but hey, that's her decision to put
she's a self-proclaimed alien, so we typically just go with that. The demonic alien.
It would explain a lot, It definitely would explain a lot.
Well, I mean, it's what's so crazy is that even 8 months later, her psyche and the way she thinks and operates and her decision making is absolutely repetitive. She does the same playbook no matter who she's targeting, and yet she doesn't face any consequence at all. So seeing that she has been given this platform that was catapulted by conservatives, Republicans, people who are Trump supporters, because I'm apolitical, but what are they afraid of now when it comes to speaking out, holding her accountable? I mean, the big voices in the conservative movement, why are they so scared to just call her out and challenge her and say, listen, I could be your friend, but right is right and wrong is wrong. I'm not defending your nonsense and buffoonery. What are they afraid of at this point?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think that there's a couple things going on. First of all, not everybody's afraid to speak out. I mean, Ben Shapiro was very clear. First of all, there's a couple of things. There's a lot of prominent conservatives who are culpable in her rise to prominence. And that's a hard thing to come to terms with. And so if for years and years and years you entrusted your own judgment and her judgment and defended her or put her on a platform, on your platform, and grew her audience and created the Frankenstein monster that we see today, there's a little bit of self-reflection that goes along. So when you're, the condemnation of her is partially condemning yourself and your judgment, and that's just hard to do. And I can understand that. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. And you see people like Jeremy Boring and Ben and everyone who, are owning up to that and saying, I have some experience with this matter. Of dealing with retards. So he has acknowledged those mistakes, and you have to, and I think that's why people were kind of slow to do that, because it also meant a little bit of a self-reflection and an indictment of themselves and their judgment, and that's hard. Easier for other people who had no skin in the game to kind of come to terms with that. There's also early days, legal issues and all these other complexities that had to do with that. First, I remember there was when she departed from the Daily Wire, there was a silence that went on both ends, and no one was just going to address it. I'm just, people were just not going to discuss the issue. The other thing that I think is tricky is, first of all, yes, there are, over the years in building up a movement and a coalition, there are personal entanglements, friendships, relationships. If for years and years and years you toured the country with Candace and had a lot of meaningful or constructive, impactful movements, relationships, events, it's hard. It would be hard for me to condemn someone publicly who I know personally. I might send them text messages, get on the phone with them, but for me to get online, it would take a little longer, and friendships are morally compromising. And sometimes it's like, people have, the need to condemn someone publicly might not come before dealing with them privately and personally, and maybe it's even more effective that way. But at the same time, if you are a public person and a commentator, you do have a responsibility, a sort of duty to your audience to tell the truth and separate, hey, we do have a personal friendship, but this conduct I don't support, or these ideas I don't support. So there is a way to do that. But more fundamentally than that, I think the problem with conservatives is that they were so averse and oriented towards fighting a pressure that existed in one direction only for years and years and years. And that was from the left. And that pressure from the left was cancel culture, was the idea that there are, if you broach certain topics, if you have certain actual political opinions about things, you are evil and you must be silenced and you must be canceled. And all of that criticism and pressure came from one direction to another, which built this sort of anti-woke coalition of people that had a lot of people of principle and integrity on it, but it also had a lot of people who were kind of in it for that game of being anti-left as their main defining identity, but they didn't have a core conservative set of ideas or principles. And at the end of the day, once they beat that woke bubble and it burst, a lot of conservatives went back to, okay, fighting the good fight, but other people were like, okay, who can we blame now? Now that we push past that, where can we go? Let's play with anti-Semitism. Let's play with Jew hatred. That's a sacred cow we can't talk about, even though their entire streams and careers are talking about it. And I think conservatives have trouble now being on the side of pressure or criticism, when for so long that signal was interpreted as a cancel culture signal. And so for them to now turn on what was once one of their own, like a Tucker or a Candace, and start sounding in their minds, echoing the sentiments of, remember, once upon a time, it was CNN and mainstream media that was criticizing Candace's or Tucker's and Ben's and everyone at the Daily Wire and all conservatives. So for them, it just, they've developed an auto response that says, I don't cancel people. We don't do that. We're not the left. And that's a big mistake to make, because just because there are, we like to have open debate and open conversation, we don't cancel people for nonsensical minor slip-ups or infractions. That doesn't mean you have no standards, no judgment, no barometers, no boundaries, no barriers, because we're no longer in the marketplace of ideas. This is about the marketplace of conduct. And what we're seeing is conduct from Candace that's appalling. What we're seeing is disingenuous, dishonest conduct from Tucker that's appalling. We're not debating ideas or the merit of such. We're calling out dishonest, nefarious behavior and dishonest, nefarious actors. So I think that's why conservatives were very slow to the counterpunch to call this out, because they were scared of, to them, it echoed the sound of a leftist, of a cancel culture leftist, but that's what it comes from.
Yeah. And then, I meant a lot of that is crazy, because you have people like, and I'll use Brandon Tatum, for example, going back to not wanting to call out your friends, where he considers her to be like a sister, but then they're so quick to try to defend themselves from not being seen as attacking her, where it clouds their judgment, and it becomes the main talking point to try to pivot from simply holding her accountable. It's not, a matter of where people are demanding that they just go and blast her out, but you can say and declare the truth without it being a flat out attack. And no matter what you do or the angle you go with it, she's going to take it as an attack if you don't just flat out agree with her. And you have this cult of personality where either you have to agree with her or you're attacking her and you're just an enemy. So at this point, people like Brandon Tatum and Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson, they really have nothing to lose. It's not like they're going to lose all of their supporters for putting her in her place. And now what's going on with her so-called, she's not an investigator. I refuse to give her that title. She's a gossiper. But for her just senseless nonsense against Erica Kirk has now become very dangerous. She's getting death threats. You've had Jewish conservatives get death threats. She's doxed Jewish donors of TPUSA. So at this juncture, do you think it'll take, God forbid, something drastic to happen before they say this is enough? And mind you, Erica Kirk, there's already a man in jail for sending a death threat to Erica Kirk. But shouldn't the goal to be to keep anything from happening to her because of all this nonsense that Candace is inciting? Will it take something serious to happen?
Well, Charlie Kirk was murdered in broad daylight in the most horrific way imaginable. I would say it has already happened. And for some people, again, who have entangled personal connections and relationships, they try hard to toe the line of saying the conduct of people criticizing without naming names. I think where some people draw the line is they won't name the names of people personally. And that might be enough for me. I mean, I focus on the fact that at the end of the day, the fault lies with Candace and Tucker and these people who are actually the nefarious, manipulative, deceitful people who are behaving in despicable ways. Megyn went as far as not just to not name names, but actually defend and create a whole different kind of narrative and just a serious display of cowardice, afraid to lose audience, and respond in just the most immature fashion. Whereas when a friend criticizes you, even publicly, you say, now I'm just going to have the opposite opinion because that's how I form my ideology and opinions. If you tell me to not to criticize Tucker, I'm going to defend him more. I'm like, okay, forget what people are telling you to do. What do you see? What about your judgment of the conduct? You're not able to have agency enough you're not of sound mind enough to just notice? Are you just a blind, reactionary, emotional creature? Because that's what you're demonstrating. Yep. And it's pure cowardice. She pushed back on Ben's characterizations of things. She made it so disingenuously about Israel when it never was about Israel when it came to Candace's conduct with regard to Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk. And Ben calling that out and even saying it to Megan to her face. And she goes, did she say that? I mean, I'm pretending like I'm just not going to have opinions about such things. So there's a disingenuous, like the way Megan has done it is pure cowardice and disingenuousness, and then smearing Ben and making it seem about, misrepresenting and mischaracterizing his entire AmFest speech and what it's about, while taking objection to being mischaracterized. I mean, there's nothing more hypocritical, ironic, and a display of psychological projection than that. Other people, Knowles, even Brandon Tatum, and other people who have entangling sort of friendships and relationships that may make this kind of public condemnation more challenging. I mean, they're still, they're not going as far as defending the conduct or pretending it's not the case or mischaracterizing those of us that are critical. So I take less issue with that. They are saying this conduct is not acceptable. They don't want to maybe necessarily name names. And at the end of the day, I still put the accountability on the nefarious actors, not those who aren't defending them in the way who aren't going after them in the precise way I would like them to. I focus on the way I would do it. And then those who push back and actually display cowardice and provide moral cover for them and then mischaracterize people like me or Ben, that I take issue with. Megan.
Right. Exactly. She's such a clown. I think she's trying her best to kind of repeat this behavior from Candace. She's like a knockoff Candace, if you ask me.
Yeah, she's just doubling down. It's like dying on a hill that I could never. Why would you do that? Even if you didn't care at all about the issues, if you're pragmatic and smart, you wouldn't.
Exactly.
You wouldn't double down on the Candace crazy train. Are you kidding me? You're going off the rails on the Candace train. Da-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na,
hey!
We should have a video called Candace Train. Crazy.
That's a good one.
Millions of mommy sleuths. Millions of mommy sleuths.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You better sing it. You have a nice singing voice. Did y'all know Ami can sing?
Whoa, yeah. Yeah, we can do it. And then the follow-up song is Dream on. That's
oh man, you got to do more videos on that one. And it's so crazy. It's like the best way to try to keep from having a migraine. You gotta, at some point, you gotta laugh. I try my best to end every live stream where we
gotta do Candace. A Candace.
You gotta end
because I'm dreaming of you tonight till tomorrow. I'll be holding you tight, and there's nowhere in the world I'd rather be than
singing
here in my room, dreaming about BB. We're having fun at the Lady Luck Club, ladies.
Oh man, you got to make sure you do one about her recurrent yeast infections. That's something else.
Did that happen?
She claimed that in court document. My approach to reporting on Candace started with going over her lawsuits. One of which she was a petitioner against a property management company. She lived in an apartment for like 7 months. Allowed black mold to grow and fester, and then did not pay rent for 7 months, hired the wrong type of attorney to try to handle her case, claiming that the black mold and the apartment community's negligence led to her having all of these symptoms, one of which was recurrent yeast infections. It is literally stated like that in the court documents.
Georgie,
I've been clowning her ever since I knew.
And then she said white. I don't know why it wasn't white mold. It could have been white mold, but white mold matters, and no one wants to talk about that. No one wants to discuss that. But I had yeast infections, okay, and they would use that yeast to bake matzah, and they would bleed Christians for Passover, okay? Oh, that's good.
You got to do it, man. You got to do it. So that infamous photo that Fax Me did with the Vile Person of the Year. That was an actual exhibit from that lawsuit.
I see.
She took that photo of herself to try to show to the court, look at what all this black mold is doing to my body. It's like, no, girl, you're just stupid.
You can get a yeast infection in your face? I never knew.
And put down that she had to have LASIK surgery. LASIK surgery? What did we do? On what? Girl, it's called Monostat 7.
Oh wow!
Oh, man.
Maybe that's how she became obsessed with female genitalia, which led her to Brigitte Macron's penis. Now I get it. I get it.
Because hers is completely gone. That yeast infection took it straight out of here.
Oh, this is fun.
I go in on her. Yeah, I can get savage. I just, and
you go in on her more than that yeast infection, but I'll tell you that. I think that went in first.
But less than George does.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
George is like, I'm not putting this and that. No, Candace.
No. All my problems are anal.
So it's just, this is the stuff that she's willing to do to try to keep this audience, this engagement, to try to, keep the views flowing in.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, you will go to the deep ends to where now weather is somehow a new concept for you. And you don't know the freezing point of water. And it's all of this for some views. Now she's in Russia, giving up God knows what to Russia. Oh, Lord. Yeah. She already said she would rather be Russian. I say keep her. Dear Russia, she's all yours. Don't worry. We don't want her back. Stay over there, girl.
Fast forward 5 years, Putin's like, oh, this bitch so crazy. I can't do this. Oh, my God. Can you please... Hey, Donald, take her back, please. She's staying in the churches and she gave all the nuns a yeast infection. Please send her back. It's too much. She yeast infection. She claimed she's having the dreams again. I can't.
Did you know that George was fishing for mermaids there?
Yeah.
Did you know that, Army? He fishes for mermaids there.
Oh,
it's unbelievable. Then there's the bear. Get those burly hairs clean. Come give me a burly hair to wash.
You're too much.
I gotta brush up on my Irish.
Oh, is that what that was? I was in a Russian
accent. I'm trying my best.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
To start rushing in on that Irish, though. I gotta brush it up. I gotta clean it up. We get that.
Yeah. All good.
Speaking of such, we saw your video you did. Were you speaking Russian? Can you speak Russian?
No, it was fake Russian.
Oh, you just made up that? That sounds a riddle, you all.
I can imitate languages. I speak a ton of fake versions of languages. Name a language, I can speak it, but not in real life. It just sounds like the language. I'm actually not. Yeah.
I was going to say, since Candace is an alien, can you do an Ewok? Because that's exactly what I call her language. Ewok.
I think we're stupid. But yeah, I did the Russian one. But a lot of different languages. Mandarin Chinese sounds like you're choking on vegetables. You have to be like, Ready Rock Club. Yeah. That was nothing.
Oh, that's so good. So yeah, we've been clowning her on this whole Russian thing because oh my goodness gracious, okay. So now
I think she's interacting with Alexander Dugin, who's like one of the
that's why I said, what is
philosophical underpinnings of undermining Western civilization and society. There's like a real deeper, darker thing going on there. So
and now Andrew Tate showed up in the picture. I don't know if you saw the expose.
I just saw somebody. He's in Russia. I decided to travel to Russia now. It's a total coincidence. I've never planned on going, but now I'm going. It's right near Romania. I want to stop and pick up my things. I had a layover in Russia at the same time. That's a fact. Yeah.
Don't forget him being a self-proclaimed pimp.
Mhm.
God. It's like, girl, you
You
keep
know, it's
yourself around a
hard.
pimp.
It's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to get this money for the rent. With them Cadillac and gas money spent, it makes a whole lot of bitches jump ship.
Man, why is he not in jail? He can't make this up.
Who knows?
But this is somebody she claims that is a good friend or something to that extent, and goes out her way to try to defend, and it's so despicable. It's despicable.
Well,
so
the currency is fame, Remember, why won't she ever criticize Kanye West? Because Kanye West has the most pop culture clout and capital and currency of fame points, and she would never ever lose that, because that's the top of the hierarchy for her, is clicks, clout, and fame. And remember, years ago, Kanye West was the one who tweeted, "I like the way Candace Owens thinks," and that was like, what a moment for her. So years later, she likes the way Kanye West thinks, and she'll never change that, because as long as he's popular and affords that, mainstream status by association. I think Andrew Tate might be friends with her husband also, so I don't know, but that's
I think
loyalty, friendship, and clout are like the biggest, most important features of a relationship, I think, in her world. So that's what it is.
And just bags of money. This is. Do you think? And here's a side question: since Kanye came out, do you think his apology to the I will not try to pronounce the Jewish rabbi's name that he did
Pinto?
about 3 months ago? Is it Pinto?
Pinto, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that was sincere?
If I'm being honest, I probably do, because I attributed most of Kanye's behavior to his mental illness. I think it was fetishized by the media, and the only reason it wasn't completely ignored as a homeless guy having a mental breakdown is because he happened to also be the most famous person on the planet. But whether you're the most famous person on the planet or a random homeless person, if you have mental illness, it looks the same. One just happens to be on a street corner that can be ignored. DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. They took my kids away from me. All those things, all those rants of a bipolar, mentally ill individual now broadcast to 30 million Instagram followers and every single TMZ outlet and mainstream media, treating it as if it's pearls of wisdom or controversial takes from the artiste icon known as Kanye. I mean, they kind of spun what was really just a mentally ill spiral of an individual into some sort of, narrative, icon, controversial edgelord type of thing, pushing back against the man and the establishment. The truth is, it's not Kanye West comments that disturbed me as much as the millions of people who agreed with them or took them literally or seriously or attributed merit to them as if he was saying something profound. Kanye speaks truth. Kanye's noticing. And so it did lead to a wellspring of anti-Semitism. And I just, the amount of people who kind of look the other way on that just shows the cowardice and just the kind of moral backwardness that we're in. But also, even his HH song, I don't know if the stream will get us in trouble, the HH song that he put out, I mean, everyone confused it with, artists have got to push the boundaries of what's acceptable, of, they've got to be taboo. That's what an artist is. I'm like, okay, fair enough. But Kanye said those things in real life.
Exactly.
Tarantino made Django Unchained. It had the N-word all over the place, right? But Tarantino, the reason that wasn't such an issue is because Tarantino's not a racist in real life. Right, I think Django Unchained would have been perceived a little bit differently if Tarantino in real life was an actual bigot and racist and then made that movie. But he was painting a environment in which that word is everywhere, to the point where it's I think that's the idea. It's almost an exaggerated environment in the world that Django lived in. It was imagined and fake and art, and it was expressed as a piece of art, just like Kanye's song was expressed as a piece of art, but the person making it is actually believes those things or express those things. Now, I do attribute it mostly to mental illness, but that's the issue. The song is not the problem. It's millions of people that take its message seriously and literally is the problem. So I think his apology tour might be legitimate, because if he's getting healthy and, having a mea culpa about that, then fine. But there are a lot of people that have much more to answer for if you brought him on your podcast in that state and said, keep going, man. Well, what else do you know? Like that's really interesting. I want to think about that for a second. No, you're really pushing the boundaries. You're speaking up. You're brave. Somebody's mental illness rantings, attributing that to bravery rather than what it really was. Those people have a lot to answer for.
Yeah. And that's the thing, when we saw the video in the
Mhm.
LLC, and I went over it. And I think, for me, um it's the lingering effect that his words have,
Mhm.
where personally I always try my best to be realistic and be empathetic, but also to be responsible in saying that you can't blame. Well, I never wanted him to weaponize his health into his mental issues either,
Mhm.
to where
Yeah.
now he's blaming everything on that, because it does take away some level of responsibility and accountability. There are people on earth with the same diagnosis, even to a more severe form,
Mhm.
that don't go out and say half of the stuff that he says and does. And it puts people in danger when you are attacking a group of individuals and you don't even know why. It's
Mhm.
based on your perception, not because someone did something wrong to you directly.
Right.
It's just you're kind
Well,
of going along to fit along, and it's like, do you think everything should be attributed to this mental health, or is there some sort of line in the sand where,
well,
okay,
both
depending
can
on the
be.
situation?
Yeah, no, both can be true in the sense that, um,
Hmm.
you know, everything can be attributed to it. It doesn't mean it didn't have horrible negative consequences and damage and impact, and you know,
Hmm.
doesn't mean it wasn't dangerous, but the reason it was is because of the platform that he was on and the impact that he has in whatever he says.
Hmm.
If Kanye West wants to do something positive, it's going to have reverberating effects. If he wants to do something
Hmm.
very negative, it will have reverberating effects. For a random Joe Schmo who's having a mental break, he will lash out at the people around him. He'll lash out at family members, friends,
Hmm.
parents, relatives, and that will be very destructive at a very provincial local level, because that's the
Hmm.
world that that person inhabits, right? But Kanye
Right.
West inhabits the entire world because his brand and his message and what he puts out is everywhere because he's that famous.
Right.
And
Right.
so the source is the same in the random person on the street who lives in a small town is having a mental break. He's lashing out at the people around him and saying the most horrible things about potentially
Hmm.
loved ones and people that they care about. And in Kanye's world, he existed in the context of a world where I'm sure there were managers who burned him and he had soured relationships, and I'm sure some of them were Jewish. And then when he had these mental breaks, he attributed all of it to this grand conspiracy of delusion
Hmm.
in which he put out all that poison. I still attribute it to the mental illness. What really can't be forgiven are all the people that didn't see that for what it was and made it into some
Hmm.
sort of journey of wisdom and self-discovery and bravery rather than a really ill, sick individual. Now,
Right.
so if we came to find out that he did all those things and there was a tumor on his brain that was like making him uninhibited, everyone would kind of understand that because a tumor is like a
Right.
material thing. I think people, when they look at mental illness, they see it somewhat differently. But if in fact it's what's going on and they're just spiraling out, then
Hmm.
he's positioned to do a lot of damage because he's that influential and that much of an icon and has that big of a following. He has more followers on Instagram
Right.
than there are Jews in the world, you know? And
Right.
so
Right.
I think it also played into, and it was resonant to a lot of issues within certain communities he was tapping into that have built in to the cake a lot of anti-Semitism, which we could talk about, or if you're interested. But there is a lot of
Hmm.
that, it seemed to me, that was revealed of, you know, dating back to the relationship between the African American community and the Jewish community in Crown Heights in the 80s and 90s, like this, or the sort of Nation of Islam Farrakhan versions of anti-Semitism. Like it
Right.
really revitalized a lot of that was already laying there dormant, or didn't get the attention, but they certainly swooped
Right.
into the opportunity to notice and call out those Jews, and
Right.
yeah, that's what very ugly about it. There was a lot of sort of fertile ground there, unfortunately, for all sorts of reasons. You know,
Okay.
you
And
know.
I mean, that's definitely understandable. And
Mm,
so, even on that note, you have now this environment where words are becoming very, very dangerous. It's getting to a point
mhm.
where now you have Candace sitting with two lawsuits. So, what are
Right.
your thoughts on the lawsuit from Brian Harple? It's a federal
Mhm.
lawsuit. He's definitely, I do believe he's been doxxed, and his,
Mhm.
security team was doxxed, their relatives were doxxed.
Mhm.
That's kind of Candace's MO, right? So
Mhm.
give me your thoughts on this lawsuit. Will you think about, how this is going to go for either party? And does Candace, is she going to lose by 20 million, 50 million? Because I believe she's going to lose. But what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm. It's a little above my pay grade assessing like the likelihood of victory. It takes a lot to prove defamation. You have to do a lot of
Hmm.
work to do it. But from my limited sort of knowledge of what's going on behind the scenes there, I think there's a lot of good cases brought against her and damage that she's done. And
Hmm.
I don't want to speculate, but I would anticipate if there's a heap of trouble that she's in, I would not be surprised. And
Yeah.
people, she's married into some aristocratic family that has lots of money. I don't think money really is the driver here. I think it's influence, impact, fame. But you can't always
Hmm.
necessarily have access to those things if they're in trusts or locked up and things like that, like in protected
Right.
family money. So I think there's a whole heap of trouble coming when it comes to these lawsuits. If you mess around too much with the wrong people and smear them and
Yeah.
dox them and libel them and slander them and cause actual damage between the Macrons and these other people,
Right. Right.
she's about to throw her left nut right at Candace's face. She's going to get it. You know, you can't play this game for long. If you keep doing this kind of damage, it's going to come back to bite you in the form of these things. So I guess we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. Mhm.
He said, throw
Yeah.
that left nut.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh God, this is the idea that why France of all first ladies,
Mhm.
why Brigitte Macron? What do
You
you
know
think
why?
that is? Because I mean, we
Yeah.
have a first lady in the U.S. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, or go after Michelle Obama. I mean, people have been talking about those for a
Yeah,
long
any
time.
first lady in the U.S. Yeah.
They called
Why
her Big
why
Mike.
Brigitte Macron?
Called her Big Mike. I think because she did one episode on Brigitte Macron, and she admitted this. She did one
Mhm.
episode thinking it would just come and go, and everybody reacted so well to it and got so many views that she's like, okay, I got to make this a thing because the audience
Yeah,
just
'cause it's
loves it.
about to be.
So for the same reason she does anything, she continued with Brigitte Macron. Why? Because the audience liked it, and so she can continue with self-aggrandizement, views, and clicks, and that's what motivated her.
Mhm.
It wasn't some quest for the truth about the status of Brigitte Macron's nuts or not
Yeah.
or lack thereof. You know,
I
that's why.
personally, I'm like, of all countries, who cares what's going on in France? This is
Mm,
like, I don't care what the first lady is doing. She doesn't pay my rent. Like, who
right,
cares? It's
right.
like it just her going down that lane, and then trying to do it again with Erica Kirk. That was just I refuse to watch. I think
Well,
Milk Bar TV came on. We got one episode. The rest of the episodes, I said no,
yeah.
because she's just running a playbook at this point.
It's like the
So
gateway. I mean, she's a creature of provocation and attention, and the constant feedback loop of that. So if you put it out
right,
there and it doesn't get a reaction, you move on. I think if Israel didn't get a reaction or Jews didn't get a reaction, she'd move on. It's not even ideology.
right.
The only ideology for her is, I think, Candace. So provocation, provoke, see what happens, and then it's the gateway drug, and then you need to keep
Mhm.
increasing the dosage of provocation. And so it went from, I don't know, I feel like genocide is wrong no matter which country does it, to Charlie Kirk is a time traveler who can astral project. And I feel like nothing is real. The moon is fake. Dinosaurs never existed. So I think not before
He
long
was
she's going to leave.
Superman.
I think not before long she'll abandon the Catholic Church too and turn on that, because when there's too much consensus, that gets boring and you lose your
Yep.
provocation game. And so she'll turn on that too. I have no doubt.
I think she's gonna go to Scientology, thanks to
Mm,
John Mappin and all. That's
right.
what I think.
Here
It's
we
going.
have Tom Cruise and John Travolta. John Travolta, who was in a movie Look Who's Talking. Well, look who's talking now, the Mossad.
Gaga go go.
So
Oh, please do a video of you trying to speak this alien language. Oh man,
was that an
we
episode?
got
Was there
photos of that one. No,
an
I'm
alien
saying, can
language
you
in
do
that?
an episode of that? Because
Yeah.
I clown her about it. I say that she's speaking Ewok. She can't
Oh.
speak English.
Yeah.
She lied about these 2 degrees. What's the likelihood of that? Because
Right.
I emailed the school
Yeah.
and they were like, yeah, a person with this name and this date of birth received a degree. She
Mhm.
claimed she received 2, one of
Right.
them being in English.
Right.
And I just feel so insulted. Girl, you butchered the word beret.
Yeah.
You have a degree in English. Wouldn't you want to flaunt those degrees
Yeah.
and at least post them up, especially if one of them is in journalism and you want people to believe that you're serious about journalism? Why not post your degree on the wall?
Yeah,
Why is that so hard?
usually a degree in English requires you to be able to speak it properly. But maybe the university buried her admissions, so we'll see.
But you got this whole spectrum of the Candace thing going on, and a lot of people are starting to get some backlash, especially when it comes to disagreements, so to speak. You got the candy asses out here now and her cohorts doxing people. Project Constitution, for example, doxing people. So, is this going to get worse before it get better? Because we all know that's a cybercrime, and he should probably be investigated for that.
Well, it's ironic.
What is her thing with doxing? What other than to just immediately? What else is going on with this? Why is she still getting away with doxing?
Well, because it's all psychological projection. Every accusation from her is a confession. The very thing she characterizes her enemies as is what she does. For example, the whole issue she had with groups like the ADL or Jewish institutions is that they were doxing people, targeting them, smearing them as anti-Semites, and trying to cancel them or destroy their reputation. But that's the world she traffics in once upon a time and now once again. And so she does the very thing she accuses other people of. Douglas Murray says, "You tell me what the Jews are guilty of, and I'll tell you what you're guilty of. I will. It's not much, This is the wild game that she's playing. Let me just say, no. Let me finish my point, Lady Luck. Lady Luck is a lucky lady. There's no question about it. Live stream. But this is the game that she's playing. It's a wicked, wicked, wicked game. And she's basically every accusation is a confession. It's complete psychological projection is what it is. It's completely psychological projection. Accusing the very people of doing the things that she does repeatedly over and over and over again. And I don't think people are coming on to it, Lady Luck. That's what they're doing.
Oh my God! What's your thoughts on? Because that just reminds me of George Farmer being in this so-called boys' club. What is the Bullingdon Club?
Yeah, George.
How did we get here? He's been the Bullingdon Club.
George is a little more gentle. He talks like this, very, very gentle type of voice. That's a little more. That's what he talks about. Oh boy!
You think she's ever going to make him a sandwich? I know.
Make me well, I'll tell you what, I'm definitely going to make a sandwich of sorts, and it's not the kind that you eat, but maybe it is, if you know what I mean. I'll make you a sandwich. You just wait in the corner and watch.
Imagine George in the closet. George, come out of the closet there. You and the merman. How dare you bring him in my house? God.
Yeah.
George, just step into the light already.
He's in the closet with Tim, he's in the closet with Tim Dillon, having fun. We're having a good time. Thanks for inviting me, Candace. It's you know what? It's okay. It's okay. A little British twink. For sure. We're having a little fun. I went over to Candace's house, had a little fun with George. I liked it. He was my little corn dog. I liked it. We did stuff. We went fishing. He likes ice fishing. We did something called ass fishing. Okay, it's called ass fishing. It's a different thing. Hook, line, and sinker. I called it hook, line, and stinker. Hook, line, and stinker. Okay? I liked it.
Oh my God. Oh man. Oh God. You got to do more. Have you thought about collabing with these skits, like turning them into like a full, mini episodes here?
Yeah, sure.
Well, or even do a show. I mean, start a show of just these skits where you have a whole skit show.
Yeah, we're upping it a little bit. It's gonna happen. I do them on my own, but to make it more elaborate, it's gonna take a little time. But there's some talks about making that happen. So I got to assemble a little bit of a crew. But I would love to do
hire me. I'll work.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to brush up my
Definitely
Irish.
not doing an Irish accent on the show, but we'll figure it out.
Oh
You just
no.
be
Okay, I
yourself.
gotta brush up my British. In.
Maybe
We gotta do it.
Drewski and I will have a handshake deal and we'll collaborate because some of Drewski's sketches are good. You know, he's got good.
Yeah. I
His
saw
Christian
one the
pastor.
other day. Who?
Did you see Drewski's
His Christian. Oh yes.
the pastor? Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah. To which I concurred. I mean, when you look at these televangelists out here, like a Kenneth Copeland,
Yeah,
you're like, yeah, a Creflo Dollar. Yeah, no.
I know. Yeah,
I never cut it that you ever say I did.
And everyone's
Look at
talking.
that
The big controversy was the Erica Kirk one, which I just thought the issue there is like, I think you're just missing the mark on where the funny is in this scenario. I personally think I'm finding out where the funny is and highlighting it. And listen, I mean, he's good at what he does, so it's a well executed thing. But I think he's missing the mark on where the ridicule and funny should be and where it actually is. So that's all.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, utilizing this, Erica Kirk's during her grief, utilizing an opportunity to try to sit and do a video, not because I want to just give her some comedic relief and support her that way. No, it's to mock her. And it was just like, dude, you look like a boxy knockdown version of white chicks. Did the Wayans brothers not conquer this already? They've already, the Wayans brothers conquered this first over 10 years ago when he was probably still a baby in diapers. Like, what are we doing? So I didn't get the humor in it, and I just thought it was a bit tasteless for me personally,
right?
Because you're not doing this to I want her to just have a good laugh, have a good giggle, and then maybe hey, we want to go in and clown her critics. Let me do it through this comedy parody.
Yeah, no, listen,
I'm mucking her.
I'm the last person to tell a comic like what to do and how to do it. As far as that, I acknowledge my bias in this because I'm so personally disgusted with all the hate and the conduct that's been thrown her way post the worst, assassination display of her husband and for the world to see. So it's hard for me personally, subjectively, to enjoy a sketch like that. Me too. But if you're completely detached from it, he's poking fun at the sort of spectacle that is like Turning Point and the events and stuff. I can't find the funny there because I guess I'm too close to it or I'm skewed by my own bias. But that, and I just don't find the funny in that. That's just not, I'm not condemning or shaming and I don't think you should go that far. Jokes are jokes. The intent is humor. He's not trying to make a mockery of her being a widow. I think he's pointing to the flashiness of the whole like culture, just like he did with the pastor. But and that comes with the territory of being a public person and taking on, Turning Point for what it is, and it's going to get some of that. But for me, I couldn't see it that way because I think the people who ruin the comedic potential of a sketch like that is actually like Candace and Tucker and the people who've, and anyone who's piled on the Erica thing, it makes it harder for that to be so palatable for me. But that's a subjective. I acknowledge my subjectivity in it.
No, I mean, I agree. I, just trying to be neutral. I didn't, follow Charlie Kirk like that. I had no ill will against him. I was completely neutral towards him. I just hate the man was assassinated on national television. He had 2 small kids. And you're going in with a skit like this, and it's like, dude, I love comedy. We have a good laugh here in the LLC. That particular one just was not funny. Comparing the one to the pastors and how they are in general, that could be factually proved. You got a lot of these so-called televangelists that do this to make money, but her being flashy, I've never seen her be that.
I'm not. It's a really difficult challenge. I'm not one to say I don't think anything is off limits or you just shouldn't because of such and such rules. It's a matter of taste and timing. And there are times where we're all going to fall on different timelines on that. A 9/11 joke on 9/12 would be really bad, but 10 years later, people make a lot of them, and we all kind of can laugh. It's just a matter of timing and stuff. So I can acknowledge those two things to be true at once.
Understandable. So what's coming up for you? What's your next big thing, big project? show, movie, that we need to look out for. We definitely catch your skits and
Yeah.
your videos on YouTube and X, but
Mhm.
your major project, what you got in the works?
I'm going to Russia. No, I'm just До свидания, Lady Luck.
You go, they're not gonna let you back.
Basically, I'm continuing doing what I'm doing. Funny Sketches going to be upping the production on those in the near term. And I have a podcast, Ami's House Podcast. You're in my studio right now. And that's more of the long form conversations, live streams, guests. It's fun. We have a good time as we're doing right now, but we also explore more serious topics and get into it with different guests, intellectuals, academics, politicians, internet personalities, the works. So I'm hoping to grow that and continue to grow that as well. The Ami's House Podcast and more. I do stand up all over. So stand up all over the country, going to Israel next month, going to be performing there. And I'm in Florida. I'm in New York. I'm in LA, Canada. I saw a comment that somebody wanted me to do the Jordan Peterson. So, it's not about Lady Luck. It's about the luck you make and the life you build, So that's what I would say.
Oh, that's epic. Oh, man. What gets you motivated to get into these different personas? I mean, the voice is, oh, my goodness. It's, plus you can sing. It's awesome.
Doesn't take much, It's better than doing spreadsheets all day. So I'd rather have a little fun, Why not?
I feel that because I still have a regular job, and Lord help us all. I'm trying to get to a point where I can take this to the next level and do this full time because I truly enjoy the spirit of independent journalism and being able to report on information that the public has the right to know. So, and just I guess to wrap it up, because I said I was be true to our time frame here with you. My biggest question: Are you married? Got family? Got kids?
I am married with 4 kids. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
Shout out to Ami and his wife and 4 babies. Yeah. How do you balance the home life, the children, being a dad, being a husband, with all of your projects, your platforms and things? How do you balance all of that?
Lots of whoopings,
Oh no.
I'm kidding.
The babies.
It's a crazy schedule. Sometimes it involves travel, but I know more traditional jobs and people who do those that are out early in the morning and back very late at night, and they miss a lot of the good stuff. And that's the sacrifice. Even though it's a regular fixed schedule, I get to do the mornings. I've done a lot of bath times and bedtimes because I can be around in those hours, even if at night I'm out. After kids are put to bed or I have to travel for random weeks at a time, I also have flexibility so I can be present. And I try to put my phone away. I don't, when it's daddy duty, when you're on, I try to put it away. I don't, but I try. But I try. You don't want to be checking those DMs. But I try. It's something you strive to just put it in a drawer, and that way you can actually be present. Because if the phone is on me, I'm going to check it. And so I also have the weekends on, and I'm a Shomer Shabbos Jew. So I shut down from Friday night. Friday night to Saturday with no technology, no phones, no TV, no nothing.
Good.
It's just me, the wife, and the kids, and friends and family and community. So that's very helpful.
Awesome.
That's what Charlie Kirk advised, to keep the Sabbath. So highly recommend.
Yep. Absolutely. And I just, the art of exercising the First Amendment, having healthy debates. And making sure, we're not cutting each other's throats off while we're trying to hold Candace accountable.
Right.
It's that delicate balancing act. Me personally, I have kids myself, I have a job, it gets to a point where you have to say, okay, got to take a break from this. Sometimes even can't go live tonight because I'm hanging out with my kids. And those are the memories, that matter the most. I enjoy doing the content here, the journalism, the research, hanging out with the Lucksters, and they're fantastic. But when it comes down to it, You got to be able to do that and put
Right.
that phone down and tend to your family and kids. So, any last words you want to give before we let you go? Hopefully, you come back
Yeah.
because I
Well,
want to be in your skits.
I totally agree with everything you just said. I'm on a live stream. Shut up. Get to bed now. God.
Go to bed.
Don't make me come over. Jeez. Anyway, so yes, I totally agree. You got to make time for what matters most, for the priorities. But my last words to everyone watching: enjoy the show. Let's have fun and be mindful of those out there who are lying to you and those who are telling you the truth. And sometimes the truth isn't pleasant. Sometimes you don't like to hear it, but it's necessary. And in the world that we live in, we got to tell the truth and be mindful of those who really aren't doing so. Medicine, it can be like medicine. It goes down bitter. It can be hard, but your real friends, the ones who really value and care about you, tell you the truth, whether it feels good or not. And the ones who tell you what you want to hear and want to hear back from you what they want to hear, they might just be lying to you. So be mindful of that and keep watching. Thanks.
Absolutely. You guys, shout out to Ami. We got to have you back when you're free. It's getting an hour. I don't want to keep you any longer. I know you got things to do, but thank you so much. It has been an honor and privilege. And please, I will do skits with you.
Oh,
that will be a lot of fun.
You are too much fun. I will keep it in mind. Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. All right.
Be good now. Y'all. Shout out to Ami for coming in and joining us in the Lady Luck Club. He is awesome. Oh my God, y'all. Absolute fun. I enjoyed that. I didn't want to hold him too long. And I know he told me he had a good hour to give us. And I want to thank all of you all for tuning in, checking out the collab. He is just naturally funny. You gotta appreciate the talent and his singing voice. Child, I can sing. I did want to check out a couple of his videos. Speaking on that, he has done a couple new videos, so I did want to check that out. And then, of course, go over just a couple things, just to cleanse the palate, the atmosphere, because it just needs to be done. But I had a good time. I definitely do not want to sully this live stream at all. So I definitely want to end this on a very, very funny Ami video. So let's see here. Let's see. Where are my bookmarks? Okay, cool. Let's get this set up. Y'all. Lyle Culpepper is another. Oh man. When I say he is hilarious, Lyle Culpepper, Ami, y'all, how awesome would it be for Ami, Edie Marie, Lyle Culpepper doing a video together? Child, I told you all yesterday we will be rolling on the floor laughing for days. Okay, for days. So let's get in a. Did we see this? Milk Bar did a new video. Oh yeah, did we see this one? Oh man, we have not seen this. We gotta watch it.
I have no issues with.
We gotta watch this. Shout out to Milk Bar TV. I have not seen this. I don't know how I missed this one yesterday. I have not seen this. I think we watched a different one. Shout out to Milk Bar, y'all. Milk Bar is absolutely amazing. Shout out to him. We got to get this in, because Candace is over there in Russia just being a dummy. Candace, how does it feel to be bugged? Since you love doxing people, how does it feel where every move you make is being followed? Because that's what they're doing. They probably have a whole camera inside of your purse and you don't even know it. You can't make this stuff up. Candace, continue to be a useful idiot. We do not want you to come back here. Keep all that over there. You, Andrew Tate, George, the mermaids, his boyfriend, the fish, the bear, whatever. Stay your ass over there, girl. Don't come back, Felicia. All right, y'all. Hit the 4 if you can see in here. Let's get to this.
I have no issues with Putin as a leader because I know that our leaders have definitely probably murdered a lot more innocent civilians than Putin ever has.
The Western media,
God.
I would argue, is more propagandist than the Eastern media. I'm not even kidding. With Putin, dictator. And it's like, guys, have you figured it out yet that our press lies about everything? Russia bad, Putin evil. The Western press is trying to convince you, as they always do, that Vladimir Putin is just a crazy dictator. I don't care about Ukraine at all. I want to be very clear. And I harbor a lot of disgust. Ukraine, yeah, Zelensky's a Bolshevik. He's mass murdering Christians. Immediately, from the very beginning, we're always lying about what was happening between Ukraine and Russia, this foreign nation. Has nothing.
All right. How many of you all believe that Russia paid her some money? Because we all know she'll take money from Qatar or anybody else that'll give it to her. Because she actually believes, or maybe she doesn't, but whatever. She thinks that if she gets $3 million from Qatar, all she has to do is read ads and nothing more. Nope. I'm going to read a bunch of ads. Yeah, they can give me $3 million to read ads. When George is worth, what, $214 million? So you'll take $3 million to the average person if you compare the number. 3 versus 214 million. Shouldn't $3 million be like pocket change to you? You can spend twice that amount on one house. And she has. We've seen the property value of one property in that Battery Lane Trust. One property is 2 times the amount of what she is willing to take from Qatar. So, based on her dumbass money-making decisions, Candace can drop $6 million minimum on a house. What is $3 million going to do for you when you can easily drop $6 million on one home? And you're willing to take $3 million from Qatar and think all they're going to want you to do is read some damn ads. Candace is like stupidity on steroids. And despite the fact that she could actually sit down and talk to people who could tell her, listen, you don't want to get involved in foreign affairs like that. You're not smart enough to keep up. You're gullible as hell. You can barely speak English. We all know you don't read books. You don't believe that the earth is spherical or believe in science. You call it a cold. You do not know the freezing point of water. What makes you think they would not play you like a fiddle when you don't know the freezing point of water? And they're just going to give you $3 million to read ads. And if it came down to it, she would probably say the same thing about Russia. Yeah, I'll take 10 million from Russia and just read ads. Boy, you can't make this up. They forget we're not an ally to them. They want our downfall. Whether she believes that or not is irrelevant. We should not be willing to risk our national safety and protection, our intelligence, what makes us great as a country. We should not be able to put that on the line just so Candace can go to Russia and still somehow think that they will not question her ass for intel or bug her hotel room. So this idiot can sit here and try to make it seem as if U.S. and Russia get along well. We're not willing to put that on the line. Candace, we will not negotiate your release if they decide to detain you. If it means our national security remaining intact, we will leave your dumb ass over there in Russia. You would rather be Russian anyway. She said that 6 months ago in the whole video. My mind was blown when I heard that. I had to do a mini video on that. Make sure you guys go check out my playlist on this idiot. This is crazy.
We're always lying about what was happening between Ukraine and Russia. This foreign
Holy
nation
Jesus.
has nothing to do with America. There's always been a laundromat for the military-industrial complex. That is what
A
Ukraine
laundromat?
is. What's happening in Ukraine is what has happened in Ukraine before. There's nothing new under the sun. It is a
What is
Christian
something?
genocide. They are intentionally mass murdering men in an unwinnable war. I will not be supporting the collapse of another Christian nation.
I absolutely refuse
What?
to support what's happening, and I'm not going to allow
No
Russia.
excuse for
You
it.
don't have to support Vladimir Putin, but I will not support the mass killing of Russian Christians.
Genocide of Christian men that's happening. And there is no question that we are the agitators of
She actually believes Russia is a Christian nation. Is she for real? You man. Oh Lord have mercy, Candace. Don't come back. Keep your dumb ass over there. Just stay over there. If you would rather be Russian, we'll bid you farewell and adieu. Adieu and farewell. You don't have to come back. Bye, Felicia. Have fun. That's simple. What come back? For what? This is astounding to me. She is calling it a Christian nation.
complex. That is what Ukraine is. What's happening in Ukraine is what has happened in Ukraine before. There's nothing new under the sun. It is a Christian genocide. They are intentionally mass murdering men in an unwinnable war. I will not be supporting the collapse of another Christian nation.
I absolutely refuse to support what's happening, and I'm not going to allow
No
Russia.
excuse for
You
it.
don't have to support Vladimir Putin, but I will not support the mass killing of Russian Christians.
Genocide of Christian men that's happening. And there is no question that
This
we are
is
the
insane.
agitators of it. Their job is to convince the Western world that this is really happening because of big evil Russia and not because they have more.
Why did she sound like a 4-year-old? I mean, she talks like a simpleton. This dude right here looks like he's like, oh man, I so regret being on this show. Y'all, look at his facial expression here. Look how he's looking at her while she's talking here. There's nothing intellectual about any statement she makes. Having a conversation with her is like having a conversation with a dead sea turtle. And it just so happened to retract in its shell. So you waiting for it to come out and actually surprise you with something new, only to find out it's dead inside the shell. That's what it's like having a conversation with Candace Owens. Talking to a dead sea turtle. Just a shell. No substance. Nothing's alive. Nothing. Barely intelligent. It's not intelligent. Candace is absolutely stupid.
Their job is to convince the Western world that this is really happening because of big evil Russia and not
Big
because
evil
they
Russia.
have more Machiavellian plans afoot.
Look at these eyes. This girl looks like she's high on something. Candace, you're an alien. Now, that's not coming from me. You said that. What's 4 times 8 again? Someone who can't pronounce the word bureau should not be having conversations like this with any human on earth about foreign affairs, especially when she thinks that the US and Russia are allies.
There. Russia has a smaller GDP than California, okay? They are not trying to expand and recreate the Soviet Union. That's a nonsense. The threat is the European Union, okay? The threat is the globalist state. We are every...
Define the word globalism. Because Candace, I played a video at least twice in the LLC where you don't know the difference between globalism and nationalism. And then talked about the birth rates being low in the UK. I don't really have an issue with nationalism. It's the globalism that I have a problem with. I don't think what you call it was so bad because he was just, slaughtering people. Like, what do you do? If you all go watch that video of her trying to explain the difference between globalism and nationalism, then you'll understand why I say that she's a complete idiot. She couldn't even explain it based on the definition of the word. That is how ridiculous she is. And stupid.
Thing that so the Soviet Union aspired to be the military industrial complex, because they have plans to invade Russia. Okay, wake up. This is not a conspiracy. Russia is not in Mexico. They're not in Canada. I don't
We know
care.
that.
I want nothing to do with this.
Did she say Russia is not in Canada or Mexico? Because they have plans to invade. But you don't care about your own country. Why are you here? Candace, why are you living in the U.S.? Why do you want to come back? Why don't you stay your little funky ass over there? Why do you want to come back to the United States of America? And you know you're going to come back bug. They probably put something in your food and you got a small damn chip inside your body just floating around. May it lay into your brain. This is mind-numbing. This is the dumb stuff that she says to try to give validity to the nonsense and moot points she's making. It's not in Canada or Mexico. Who said it was? What?
Okay, wake up. This is not a conspiracy. Russia is not in Mexico. They're not in Canada. I don't care. I want
Russia
nothing.
is not in Canada. It's not in Mexico. It's not in Canada. Russia is not in Mexico. They're not in Canada. That is her talking point. That is her argument as to why she thinks that somehow all of the United States of America should just support Russia out of nowhere just because, reasons. Because they're not in Mexico, they're not in Canada. Did y'all know Russia was not in Mexico or Canada? And it's just so stupid. Did y'all know that? She says this like it's a profound new finding or something. Like discovering the cure to, the worst disease on earth. Did y'all know Russia's not in Mexico? They're not in Canada? Well, y'all aware of that? Is this y'all first time hearing this? Well, that yeast infection is flaring up, Sharon. Y'all have to know, well, that yeast infection is just, it's done. It's out of control. She refused to go buy some damn Monistat 7. Grimace GC has got to be completely unhappy down there. Probably wondering, what is this red light flickering? You have something in you. They can probably give you digital scans of Candace's insides. Again, he got that girl bug from the inside out. Candace, you're so dumb. This is the type of person that thinks she can outsmart some trained operative or intelligence officer and avoid giving them information that cannot be used against the entirety of the United States of America or put our security and safety in jeopardy. Because, Candace, Russia wants to destroy us as a country. I don't think it matters. He drives that whole narrative even more. But no, they don't want us to thrive as a country. Because they recognize our sovereignty.
I don't care. I want nothing to do with this nonsense. You think Putin bad? Putin said a lot of very interesting things when he sat down with Tucker. But of the most interest, perhaps, was his resolve that the world was moving away from Western hegemony. That countries would no longer allow the United States to just bully them with sanctions into certain positions that they don't agree with.
And yet we sanctioned them. And yet they have been sanctioned. And there is nothing you can do about it, Candace, but be bigly mad. Big, 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 big mad. All she can do is be bigly mad and run her damn mouth. Candace is big. She's bigly mad. Bigly, the most mad person on earth. More mad than anyone I've ever seen. Bigly mad. Right here. We have an alien that crash landed on our planet, decided to live in the United States of America, and wants us to just get along with Russia. We don't owe them that. We don't owe another country any allegiance at all, but we cooperate with other countries. Because yes, we have goods and services that come from other countries to help improve our quality of life. Candace, unless you want us to start using space rock, maybe you should go to space and bring back a couple of those asteroids. That way we can drill them down and turn them into homes. It'll give people jobs. Like, what do you do for a living? Yeah, I mine space rock from the asteroid belt. Because, there's no way the U.S. should be working with any other country. Never mind, we have a stock market that's global. Other countries participate in our stock market. Proof of a form of capitalism where you can make money by investing in stocks from countries all over the world. Go figure. But yet and still, somehow, no, never mind all these other countries, especially the two that's neighboring the U.S. from the north and the south. Now, Canada and Mexico are irrelevant. We're supposed to care about a country across the water that hates our guts as a nation, as a collective. They can't stand us as a collective. Oh my God. Candace, they want our nuclear weapons. They want our resources. What is wrong with you, you dummy? Never mind in the Bible, all the prophetic scriptures of the Bible. We don't have to get along with them. What's the matter with you?
Hatred for Russia is nonsensical. I grew up with Russians, and they
not about
were
hate.
first
We
and
don't want
foremost
them to
like the
destroy us.
hardest workers in terms of their schoolwork, really good values.
In terms of their schoolwork, Candace, didn't you say you dropped out of college after your third year? You didn't ask Russia to give you some money to help you pay your tuition. Candace, you're not gonna you can call Putin and say, hey, you know what? I need to actually finish my degree. Can you send me a couple $1 million? They probably already did. Who knows? You can't make this up. Someone who came out talking about I dropped out of college and I don't think it's useful to anyone, and then lied twice about having 2 degrees. It's talking about someone having education, because of reasons.
And they were first and foremost like the hardest workers in terms of their schoolwork, really good values. They are definitely people that bring forth all of the classics in America. And I'm talking about their contributions in terms of music and the arts, in terms of ballet, are so ridiculous. When
So as long as you can do ballet, you're good. Candace, we have a ballet here in the U.S. We have several ballet theaters in the United States of America. We have several dance companies that are widely known. And you're literally going to sit here and say, no, they good because they can do ballet. How many other countries can do ballet just as well? Candace, when are you going to give out these refunds to the people in Australia that bought those tickets? Because Australia told you to kick rocks. When are you going to give those people, your supporters, your cult members, your bots, your cult members? When are you going to give them their refunds back? Why not give them their money back? If you think that getting money from Qatar just to read ads is good, then why not take that money and just give it back to the people that bought those bogus ass tickets? You're not even trying to do anything good and useful with it. To show your so-called cult that you actually care about them a little bit. Just a little bit. They will give you their rent money and mortgage money. And you can't even give out a refund for a ticket for $100 because you mad at all of Australia. So you're going to take it out on the people that actually bought tickets to hear you say anything in a microphone that we can all watch for free on Milk Bar TV's channel. They were willing to spend $100 up to $1,500 to see you talk about something in Australia. And you left your own supporters hanging by failing to give them refunds because you knew you had not secured your visa. Which is even more why I keep saying she told us 6 months ago that she was going to go to Russia. In her own way, talking about, I'd rather be Russian. Bye. As a matter of fact, we would rather you be Russian as well. They can keep you. Once again, why come back? Why come back? Now, it's the ballet thing. Because, as if New York City Ballet is not one of the best in the country. Alvin Ailey, dance theater. You have so many dance theaters just from everywhere that can blow any other country out the water. Right here in the United States of America. And you would rather be Russian because you can go see their ballet. Okay.
Topic of Russia. It's like Russia. We gotta be afraid. I'm not afraid of Russia. Okay. I have an.
You should be. They will bug your ass and keep it moving. They can't, Candace. No one is even asking you to be scared of them, but you should understand what they're willing to do if it means getting information out of you. If they're not friendly to the United States and there's a travel advisory where the U.S. is saying, don't take your dumb ass over there. Why is it that it needs to be a thing about fear? They're acting up. They're treating Americans like crap over there. So why would you want to go over there? Candace, the only reason why they're not doing anything in the public spectrum to you directly is because of who you are. And nothing more. It's not because you're smart or you can outwit them. You going to speak at an economic forum? Are you going to go over your taxes? How about your taxes for Candace Owens LLC? Where are those tax filings? But yes, she doesn't want to register with Fowler. Okay.
Of Russia. It's like Russia. We gotta be afraid. I'm not afraid of Russia. Okay. I have an understanding that they have a smaller GDP than California. This whole idea that they're trying to recreate the Soviet Union is a nonsense. It is propaganda. It is stupid. It is beyond stupid. It is literally just a way to keep.
This is coming from the idiot that thinks that Scientology is not trying to take over, just starting with the state of Florida. They've infiltrated our government for a tax exemption status. And she actually thinks, no, they're not trying to grow and expand. They're not looking for new members. They're good with all the ones they've got. All those Statons and Xenu and all that blah, blah, blah. This is the same idiot that says Scientology is not trying to take over. The hell you say? Candace, you're infuriating.
People fearful. It is CIA propaganda because what's really happening is we're expanding into their territory, guys.
And I'm glad that I'm able to use my platform and that capacity to make people consider their own programming against Russians. And I would love to visit Russia. I would love to interview Putin.
Next week, I'm actually going to St. Petersburg. I'm so excited.
Candace, you say you want to interview Putin.
It is stupid. It is literally just a way to keep people fearful. It is CIA propaganda.
It's not CIA propaganda. You understand what happens to journalists over there when you dare them to say something bad about you and then turn around and say, I will dox you and put all your personal information out there. You know what happens to people over there in Russia that say that? You might want to read about that since you don't want to read about, Dr. Seuss or anything. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like it, Sam. I am. That's the reading level of Candace. Dr. Seuss. That's it. And only during bedtime for the kids. Like, beyond that, she's not reading a book. Candace, just so stupid. Oh, my God. Yeah, so it'll be easy to get Candace to spill the beans about any and everything that happened in the White House that would be of use to Putin and Russia. Yeah, it'll be easy to get it out of her. I'm telling you, all they got to do is like, put a chip in her steak dinner, whatever she's eating, whatever's in that cup. And she's just going to have that tracker stuck inside her body forever. Just, Candace, don't come back. Just stay your ass over there.
And because what's really happening is we're expanding into their territory, guys. And I'm glad that I'm able to use my platform in that capacity to make people consider their own programming against Russians. And I would love to visit Russia. I would love to interview Putin. Next week, I'm actually going to St. Petersburg. I'm so excited.
Broken record. Yeah, shout out to Milk Bar TV. He is epic. Candace, go with God. Don't come back. Don't come back. Go interview Putin. Do what you want to do over there. Stay your dumb ass over there. Do not come back. Keep your ass over there. You would rather be Russian. You said this 6 months ago. No one is stopping you. As you can see, you landed in their country. Just stay your dumb ass over there. Is there a way to say as the United States of America, we don't want Candace? Can we revoke her birth certificate or something? Can we revoke her citizenship? Is there a way to do that? Candace, you've been nothing but a headache to the entirety of the United States of America. We're revoking your citizenship. Good luck in Russia. Keep your dumb ass over there. That way George can go fishing forever without you and the boys club. Funny how Andrew Tate showed the hell up over there. He had to go give his boyfriend a view. What the heck is going on with these three? They're so weird.
I have
Oh my God, y'all.
no issues.
We got to get in Lyle. His videos are short, but they're just absolutely necessary.
It's about you and we'll destroy you.
Great. Okay, Candace, do you have a message?
He is so funny. Him and Ami. Oh my God. It's almost like a necessity to have both of them. You got to get both in. Thank y'all so much. Man, let me
Choose with Putin as a leader because I know that our
Great. Okay, Candace.
Hold on. Sorry. I got a super that came in. Make sure you guys go check out Amin's YouTube channel and all his great content. Follow him on X if you are on X and as well as Instagram. I forgot to get him to give us the plugs for all of his social media, but I know he's on Instagram and X and YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and check out his great content as well as his regular live shows that he does. I've seen a couple and he has great discussion like he did here in the LLC. And absolutely just honored. Absolutely honored. So make sure you go check him out. And thank you, Susie Q, for the $10 super. I appreciate it. You're awesome. Two very funny people that make me laugh. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that would be awesome. I told him I would definitely be in his skits. I meant that. I meant that. That was from the heart. He's absolutely hilarious. And I did get word back from Edie Marie that she is still working on the therapy session video. So hopefully that'll be available to check out soon. But I told her, honey, it's no rush. We'll be here and we will definitely get in a good laugh or two because we got to. If not, you have a headache. Can't make this up. So thank you so much, Susie Q, for the $10 super. I appreciate that. Make sure you guys have hit that like button. And please do not forget to hype up the videos. Hype up these videos. I'm not going to be too much longer with you all here because I don't want to be all night. But I do want to get in these last few videos between Lyle and Ami. So hit the 4. You can see in here. Let's go.
Great. Okay, Candace, do you have a message for our Jewish viewers out there? Just keep it light, funny, something like that.
Collectively, the globe, we're tired of you guys, okay? It's always about money, threats, all of this stuff. It's ridiculous. Do what we say or we'll ruin your life. We're going to call up all our friends and we'll start writing hit pieces about you and we'll destroy you.
Candace, that's exactly what you and your dumb coat do. And obviously people who throw tantrums in the brats. That's what you and your so-called mommy slews impersonating CIA investigators do. They send out death threats. They dox. They defame. You have 2 lawsuits. Now, you can keep your ass over there in Russia, but you do have court coming up June 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not Utah time, not Russian time. Eastern Standard Time. I don't care if you go to court by Zoom. Take your ass to court. It's on your motion to dismiss. You know, because she does not want subpoena power. She's sitting here and saying, oh, they're going to ruin your life. As if committing a cybercrime does not ruin people's lives. As if doxing does not do the same thing. People got to stop. Listen, stop letting her do that and get away with it. People start hitting you up with lawsuits and reporting your ass to the FBI. You'll learn. It'd be best if you stay in Russia. Just stay your ass over there.
Do what we say or we'll have you canceled. We'll have your sponsorships dropped.
You're
Do what we
crazy.
say or we'll make sure that you're fired. We'll put pressure so that you can't earn an income. If you're still not going to listen to us and you survive that, we're going to sue you for everything you have. You guys suck, okay? We don't care about your money. We are tired of it.
And yet she wants money. So, okay. So why say to TPUSA, please put me on your payroll. Pay me a monthly retainer. Your PR sucks. Pay me. I'll help you with your PR. Why are you asking to be on their payroll? You hypocrite. I know that's a complex term for you. You can't define it. Probably can't spell it. But you are a hypocrite. You narcissist. Why say you want to be on TPUSA's payroll? You allege that they're getting nothing but Jewish dollars. Somehow they have their own currency. And yet you want to be on TPUSA's payroll to get those Jewish dollars. You want TPUSA to pay you a monthly retainer so that you can get Jewish money. Because somehow, you know, money is different. Oh my God. Can we get a picture of a $5 bill of Jewish money? Well, what does that look like? Is it a different color? Maybe their money is purple or blue. Ooh, royal blue with silver. Because Jewish money has got to be like, what's the colors? Red, blue, white, blue, white. I don't know. Whatever the colors are in Israel. Yeah. Can we get a photo of some Jewish money with those colors? Because Candace thinks that Jewish money is different from US dollars somehow. Like, you know, all Jewish people only have Jewish money. She wants US dollars. She wants to be rich and wealthy. She's telling her cult members, buy my merch and my dumbass t-shirts and hats so I can pay my attorney's fees. But yet, somehow she thinks that people care about someone being rich and wealthy. Why are you yelling about this, Candace? You're throwing a whole tantrum over this. People have the right to sue you. If you defame them, that's not protected free speech. And they can prove malice, they will sue you. You're going to find that out the hard way. You're the one that wants this stuff to be dismissed. The Macrons would rather you just go to court. You want the courts to dismiss it. No. And Brian Harper, I hope neither one of them try to negotiate a settle. I want her to pose. But she's sitting here talking about put me on your payroll to get some money. And yet she's yelling about them having money.
Do what we say or we'll ruin your life. We're going to call up all our friends and we'll just start writing hit pieces about you and we'll destroy you. Do what we say or we'll have you canceled. We'll have your sponsorships dropped. Do what we say or we'll make sure that you're fired. We'll put pressure so that you can't earn an income. If you're still not going to listen to us and you survive that, we're going to sue you for everything you have. You guys suck, okay? We don't care about your money. We are tired of it. This reveals who you are.
She definitely cares about their money because she wants them to pay her a monthly retainer.
Not who I am. The truth should be enough.
Candace, you're a dumb alien.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a commercial real quick and probably never work again. Great. Okay, Candace, do you have a message for our Jewish viewers?
Our new mantra is our. Okay, Candace, remember our new mantra.
Mindy, didn't you tell me one of this had some music in it? Then one of the videos has some music in it. I don't want copyrighted music because YouTube is stupid. Hey, S5, Cena Marie, I see all of you all up in here. Angie, shout out to all of you all. Oh man, y'all know when we have special guests, it is hard to try to watch all the comments flowing and then talk with the guests and all. It's easier when it's just me. But for all of those that I may have missed, thank you all so much for tuning in, and shout out to my mods. No reply, you still up in here? I think I saw you earlier, Lily. What's going on, Mackenzie? Let's see. We got Chantel, the switch. What's happening? Grim up in here. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Sifa, I see you, girl. I just want to make sure I got you all comments up. Show y'all some love. White and blue. There you go. Can we get shekel? 7K shekel. Candace don't want shekel though. She want US dollars.
Is we're only saying smart things on the podcast, right? Let's do a story or something, an anecdote that will tell people that you know what you're talking about.
I didn't know this, but also Savannah didn't know this, so at least two of us didn't know this. I was on a walk with my husband, and it was thundering, I think. And I was like, oh, no big deal. We can keep walking because there's no...
Candace, you want us to believe that George Farmer does not know about thunder? Are you serious? You really want us to believe that George does not know about thunder? Candace, you're so stupid.
Mantra is we're only saying smart things on the podcast, right? Let's do a story or something, an anecdote that will tell people that you know what you're talking about.
I didn't know this, but also Savannah didn't know this, so at least two of us didn't know this. I was on a walk with my husband, and it was thundering, I think. And I was like, oh, no big deal. We can keep walking because there's no lightning. And he was like, what do you mean by that? And I said, like it's just thunder. Lightning is the problem.
Oh my God. Even George has to stop and think about the level of stupidity oozing from his lavender wife's mouth. Boy, that Grimace Yeasty is just acting the hell up. Grimace Yeasty has been acting up for like 8 months straight. Like, what do you mean by that? George, I tried to give you an out. You didn't want it. You want to stick by this alien side. That means you have to take all the stupidity that goes along with it. You chose to stick with her. Whether you two are over there in Russia for a photo op, irrelevant. You choose to get in that photo. Candace, you gonna tell us how George got that black eye? Because he wanted us to see that as well. Because if George does not want to be in a photo, he's not going to be in a photo. It's the irony that you're in an airport and your lavender wife is taking photos with an airport employee. Her foot is broken. You have a black eye and you don't cover it up. You don't wear shades. And somehow you're behind her in this photo being captured having this black eye. And she has yet to explain how he got that black eye. So, George, are you going to tell us what the hell happened to this black eye? Did Candace punch you in the face? Was it the merman fiend that slapped you in the face or something? Y'all was trying to do something risque. The merman fiend just popped you in the eye real good. I heard mermaids are strong.
Problem. And then my husband was like, you know that it can't thunder without lightning, right?
Okay.
That thunder is the sound of lightning. My mind was completely blown. I
Really?
promise you, in my 35 years of living, I had never heard that. And
Candace, do you really believe that? Because you know that's not. You know that lightning comes from thunder. When thunder hits Jewish-owned nuclear power plants, it creates lightning. That's the lightning you're seeing is the power plant being struck from miles away. It's not. Lightning doesn't cause the sound of thunder. No, it's the Jewish-owned nuclear power. The nuclear power plants. That's good. You gotta put that in. Put that in. Let's Chris, write down nuclear power plants. I think there's a joke. There's something there.
Y'all, my stomach hurt. Wait a minute. I gotta stop. Yeah, we gotta watch this again. Candace. Oh, you're so dumb. Candace, you're so dumb. Oh my God. You would think that this is someone that, what was the girl named Alessandra? Tried to say, well, she's not anti-science. This is pretty anti-science to me. Thunder and lightning, the weather patterns, all the electrons moving around. I'm not even going to get into the ions or anything like that. That is a matter of science. And Candace does not know how science works, or lightning, or thunder. You can't make this up. We gotta watch this again. Yeah, I can't stop laughing. Candace, this is why you need to keep your dumb ass over there in Russia. We can't take it. There's no way we want her to keep representing the U.S. in anything. No. Damn it. Yeah, that's exactly what I would say if I see anything where she came back. Damn it. Oh, man. That plane could have just said, we're not taking off until Candace gets the hell off this plane. Somebody, who's the pilot? I want to talk to the pilot of that plane. Can you please not take off if Candace is on that plane? All pilots need to go on a strike when Candace is ready to come back. Nope. Oh, Lyle. We got to see it again.
Okay, Candace, remember our new mantra is we're only saying smart things on the podcast, right? Let's do a story or something, an anecdote that will tell people that you know what you're talking about.
I didn't know this, but also Savannah didn't know this, so at least two of us didn't know this. I was on a walk with my husband, and it was thundering, I think. And I was like, oh, no big deal. We can keep walking because there's no lightning. And he was like, what do you mean by that? And I said, like it's just thunder, lightning.
It was that moment George realized he married an idiot. It was in that moment George said, damn it.
Is the problem. And then my husband was like, you know that it can't thunder without lightning, right?
Okay.
That thunder is the sound of lightning.
Oh, yes,
my mind was completely blown. I promise you, in my 35 years of living, I had never heard that.
Did you really believe that?
Yes, she does.
Because that's not. You know that lightning comes from thunder. When thunder hits Jewish-owned nuclear power plants, it creates lightning. That's the lightning you're seeing is the power plant being struck from miles away. It's not. Lightning doesn't cause the sound of thunder. No, it's the Jewish-owned nuclear power. The nuclear power plants. That's good. You gotta put that in. Let's Chris, write down nuclear power plants. I think there's a joke. There's something there.
Yo, can we get a photo of a nuclear power plant? Sending us some lightning and thunder with Candace standing in front of it. Candace, oh man. Oh man. Can we get word if Savannah actually knows this or not? Candace, I don't think it's fair for you to bring Savannah into this if she knew that thunder comes from lightning. If she knew that, it's not fair for you to try to make it seem like that. No, I'm not the only dumb one here. Savannah's just a stupid. That's what
Okay,
she's trying to
Candace,
say.
remember our new mantra is we're only saying smart things on the podcast, right? Let's do a story or something, an anecdote that will tell people that you know what you're talking about.
I didn't know this, but
Okay.
also Savannah didn't know this. So at least two of us didn't know this. I was walking with my
Shame on
husband
you.
and it was thundering, I think. And I was like, oh, no big deal. We can keep walking because there's no lightning. And he was like, what do you mean by that? And I said, you know, like it's just thunder. Lightning is the problem. And then my husband was like, you know that it can't thunder without lightning, right?
Okay.
That
Oh,
lightning,
God.
that thunder is the sound of lightning. My mind was completely blown. I
Really?
promise you, in my 35 years of living, I had never heard that. And
Candace,
Because she failed science. Candace failed 3rd grade science. What grade were you all in the chat when you learned about the weather? What grade were you all in? Do you all remember what grade you were in when you learned about thunder and lightning? What grade what were you all in? Like that, I just, you know, because I learned that back in the 2nd grade, Candace. Thunder and lightning is the epitome of science. So you failed science in the 3rd grade is what you're trying to tell us? Candace, this is so, oh my God. And people believe that she actually went to college for 3 years. I refuse to believe it now. The broken English, the fact that she can't define globalism versus nationalism. She doesn't know the freezing point of water. She doesn't know that thunder is the sound of lightning. She doesn't believe in science. She believes the earth is flat and dinosaurs did not exist and no one ever went to the moon. Candace, did you know that Russians also go into space? Did you know that? Perhaps while you're there, you should ask about the Russian space program. Yo, Russia has a space program. They tried to beat us to the moon. Yeah. They also make nuclear weapons. Did you know that, Candace? So for you to say you don't believe anyone went to space and landed on the moon, you do understand that Russia has a space program where they wanted to put people on the moon. So are you going to deny that over in Russia while you're there on U.S. Russian soil? Is that how this is going to go? Because all the dumb things you say on U.S. soil, I want to see if she'll say those same things over there on Russian soil. Candace, I would love to see you threaten someone to say something bad about you. And then you tell them to their face, you're going to dox them. I would love to see you say that to any of those Russian intel operatives. Go to the KGB and tell them, I'm going to dox everybody in here if you say something I don't like. And please live stream that so we can get their reactions. Because I want to see this. She says she's not scared. I ain't never scared. Oh, okay, cool. So that means you can walk into the KGB and look everybody in the eye and say, if you say anything that I don't like, I'm going to dox you and your family. Because you're not scared, right? You don't have any fear, Candace. You're not scared of them. Go ahead, girl. Go to the KGB and tell those Russian intel operatives, I will dox you and your family if you say something that hurts my feelings. Please do it. I want you to do it. I want you to live stream it. Tell George to get behind the camera. Andrew Tate can do the lightning. The lighting and sound. And you can sit there and televise yourself telling anybody in the KGB that if they say something you don't like, you're going to dox them and their entire family to the world. And that you can't trust living next to these people, as neighbors. I want you to say all that big shit you say here in the US. I want you to tell that to the people over there in Russia. To their face. I dare you. I dare you tell any Russian KGB official. I'm going to dox you and your whole family if you say something I don't like. Do it. Because you so big, bad, and bold. You're not scared of them, right? Do it. Go on, girl. Tell them that. Let me know how you feel. Then record it so we can all see what the hell happens. Because I want her to back all this up. No, you're not scared of nothing. Oh, okay, cool. You're not scared of nothing. So tell those people over there, go to the KGB and tell them that. Go to the Kremlin and say, I'm going to dox all y'all. Go ahead, girl. Yeah. Good luck to getting back here for real. Candace. Oh, Lord. As an FYI, thunder is the sound produced by the rapid expansion and contraction of air heated by a lightning strike. Because this is how science works. Thunder occurs when lightning discharges electrical energy through the air, heating it to extremely high temperatures up to around 30,000 degrees Celsius, 54,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is several times hotter than the surface of the sun. And Candace, as a reference, you can just read this information online from the Encyclopedia Britannica. You don't even have to go to a science book, girl. This sudden heating causes the air to expand explosively, creating a shock wave that travels outward, like sound, does. As the air cools and contracts, immediately afterward, the rapid expansion and contraction generate the sound waves we hear as thunder. And all that getting get some understanding. Why the hell she couldn't just look this up? Because reading is not fundamental for Candace at all. Candace could have just did a simple Google search on this. She could literally go to the Encyclopedia Britannica online and just read about thunder and lightning. Nope, she would rather just be ignorant and stupid and say dumb things. Because she doesn't know how lightning and thunder works or the freezing point of water. That's how dumb she is. And her cult members think she's a genius while they refuse to read them damn selves. They don't read either. Go figure. Because lightning and thunder.
Did you really believe that? Because you know that's not. You know that lightning comes from thunder. When thunder hits Jewish-owned nuclear power plants, it creates lightning. That's the lightning you're seeing is the power plant being struck from miles away. It's not. Lightning doesn't cause the sound of thunder. It's the Jewish-owned nuclear power. The nuclear power plants. It's good. You gotta put that in. Put that in.
Second grade, Marjo.
Chris, write down nuclear power plants. I think there's a joke. There's something there.
Oh, Lyle. You make my day. Y'all, we got it here.
Announcement. That's right, then.
We got Ami. This is Trump and BB have a major announcement. We're here for this. Shout out to Ami. We're going to end on this one. This is too funny. Y'all, you can't make this up. Yeah, did you know I'm going to use that as a thumbnail? You standing in front of a nuclear power plant. That's certainly a thumbnail. And Candace looking at lightning and thunder. Oh, because she's so stupid. Science goes over her head. Shout out to Ami. Shout out to all of you all tuning in. This is going to be our last one for the evening, you all. If you guys can't tell, I'm tired. Okay. So we will have a live stream tomorrow. I'm going to set that up, but this is going to be the last one for the evening. And it's befitting to end on Ami since he was our special guest for today. You guys make sure you go and show him your love and support. Check out all of his great content. He is absolutely funny and naturally funny, and we're here for it. All right, so let's get to this.
All right, Beebs, we got some major announcements. Major announcements.
That's right, Don, we do. Should we tell them?
You know, we've done so many things. We've done a lot of great things together, but should we tell them?
Yes, and I think it's important that we share the very exciting news between our two countries.
All right, should I tell them about the Abraham Accords Part 2?
No, Don, not that. It's the other thing.
But that is the correct pronunciation, right? Abraham Accords.
Avram. It's close enough. Anyway, tell them the next thing.
Melania and I are buying a place in Kasoya, right next to you.
No, well, we are very excited about that, of course. Great neighbors, but no, not that. The next thing.
Oh, here's a big one. Ami Kozak is performing in Israel.
There it is.
That's right, Ami Kozak. Apparently he does a good Trump impersonation, so I've heard. I don't know. No one does me better than me, but apparently he does a good job.
He's performing in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv?
You know, I moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. I did that.
Yes, we know, Donnie.
No other president did that.
Toda.
I deserve credit, I think. Okay, so he's coming. When's he coming?
June 24th and 25th.
And who's the sponsor?
It's brought to you by English Comedy Tel Aviv.
English is a great language. I mean, I have the best word.
Israel 365.
Great organization.
Kimbash Real Estate.
I'm a real estate guy. She's a real estate gal.
And Dr. Yuval Singer.
Yuval Noah Harari. What a great guy.
Singer.
Beautiful voice.
Yeah, maybe.
June 24th in Jerusalem and June 25th in Tel Aviv.
Oh, can I come? I promise I'll leave the airport this time.
He's a cookie guy.
He's a demon, no mashuga.
Very low IQ.
Ken.
Yeah, we gonna live stream that. We gotta have a watch party on that. Hit the 4 if you want to watch party on this. If we can actually check it out. Hit the 4 if you guys want to do a watch party on this. This is going to be funny. Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome. Maybe to get recorded, put on video somewhere. I hope so. I hope we could check it out online and stream it. But if it's available, we will do a watch party on that. That will be awesome. That would be awesome. And we just need the comedic relief. I appreciate you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for holding it down, for your support here in the LLC. I want to make sure I say this before we get off. You know, I was thinking about all the trauma that's going on, you know, over on X and all of that, you know, I don't know, hold off on a collapse for a minute. Only because I just want things to settle down. Okay? I want things to settle down. I never want to put you all in harm's way, for you all to get doxxed or harassed or bullied or targeted or any of that. And I think for me personally to just have a little breather, might hold off on the collapse for a minute just to give things a chance to settle. Does that make sense? We're still going to keep our foot on Candace's neck. But I just, you know, I thoroughly enjoy having Ami in here. But it just, with all the drama transpiring right now, and I don't tend to temper tantrums, and I don't do all that. I don't go back. I'm not going back and forth with anybody on that. When you don't pay my bills, I'm not doing it. All right. So I'm going to put a hold on any further collaborations. That way, you know, we could just stick to our content. Collabs are great. I have no problems with it. I just want things to calm and cool down. Does that make sense? Is that good? So shout out to Ami. If we can live stream that event, we will. He will be in Israel June 24th, June 25th. And so that will be absolutely fantastic. A great way to just have a good time and lay back and chill out. All right. I appreciate you all. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for the support. Hit the like button on the way out. And you guys be good and take care. And until the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.